If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show, an extremely important show. Please watch it thoroughly and share it with people and listen when I tell you it's important. People on my website at callforanuprising.com have reminded me of this video that came out. It came out a while ago. It got leaked from the Pentagon. The media kind of ignored it back then, but there have been attempts to debunk it, but even the places that have tried to debunk it can't debunk it because it looks so legitimate. And, well, it's about a vax that would pretty much eliminate what they call the Godhead. The whole point of the vax is to eliminate Christian fundamentalism, religious fundamentalism, right? They talk a lot about other people, after 9/11, 9/11, they talk about, these religious fanatics, they're dangerous. We need to eliminate this. And they talk about creating a vax in which it would stimulate certain parts of the brain that would make people more compliant, which sound familiar, as far as fluoride and things like that go. But this would eliminate the Godhead and eliminate all people's beliefs and critical thinking skills as well. This clip I'm going to show you is directly from the pits of hell, as one of my subscribers would say, straight from the pits of hell. Take a look for yourself.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
What you see here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed? Aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses, and we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses, and we're quite confident that this will be a very successful approach.
This is fascinating. What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism.
And you have a proposal already?
The proposal has just been submitted, and I think that the data that I have shown you today would support the development of this project, and we think it has great promise.
Now, the guy up there who is introducing this and thinks it's funny and calls it the FunVax, I don't know if he's going to find it fun when burning lava is shoved up his rear end when he enters the pits of hell, but this is the type of stuff that they do, right? Why would they even talk about or bring up an idea like this? This isn't the first time either, okay? This isn't something new. This is going back to Stalin, Hitler. They put fluoride in the water for a reason. People are like, oh, these crazy fluoride nuts. They saw that the rebellion and uprising of people who are fighting against tyranny and all these other things died down because of that. And that's part of why they chemtrail us, and that's why they the aerosol and the other crap that they send into our skin, into the air, and put in our food and other things. This is strictly a vax that would do the same exact type of thing, but focus on religious extremists or anyone who has that type of belief that would make them weaker thinking. And this isn't something that they haven't shown us in predictive programming, because they have. You might remember, well, most people probably don't remember, a film called Serenity. Look at the predictive programming in this film. And of course, the actress who we see featured all the time in American Horror Stories. She's no Satanist or anything like that. And listen for yourself.
Just a few of the images we've recorded. And you can see it isn't what we thought. It's the Pax. The G23 Paxilon hydrochloride that we added to the air processor. Supposed to calm the population, weed out aggression. Well, it works. The people here stopped fighting. And then they stopped everything else. They stopped going to work. They stopped breeding, talking, eating.
You see, and that's how predictive programming works, right? Part of their plan. They show it in the movies, right? They fictionalize these things with outbreaks. They desensitize people, and then they go through with it. It's part of sigil magic. It's a part of mind control. So you tell me, anything alarming about this for anyone out there? That this is even being discussed? And what do you want to say? It wasn't being discussed in the Pentagon? You want to tell me that that was filmed in some college, university with some professor instead? Fine. You could say that if you want to say that and you want to believe that. But the fact that there's people in this world that are this evil and sick, that think like this to herd the human race, how in the world can anybody be okay with these types of people? People are more focused on people like me going, we need to get Call For An Uprising off the internet. We need to throw him in jail because he's not a fan of, men, doing stuff to each other. You know what I mean? He's not a fan of the pride parades because he thinks it's wrong. They care about that, but they don't care about human beings who are sitting there going, we need to create a vax. We could tell people there's a virus, and they'll say that this is the cure. And what it'll do is it'll make people's brains weaker. They won't be able to think as much for themselves. It'll kill critical thinking skills. It'll make them more subdated 24/7 into just listening to what they hear and following orders. People don't have a problem with that because they go, oh, it sounds like a science fiction movie. Oh, yeah? You don't see all the stuff from these science fiction movies coming into fruition as we speak? The artificial intelligence, the robots. Look at the world. We got drones flying around. This is stuff out of 50s sci-fi, but it's normal. It's like, no, this is the way it is now. Phones, tracking devices, rings, Amazon Echoes, and all that other crap, Alexa. This is the point. The point is, they are going to do whatever they can to make sure that they get people mandatorily vaxxed. It's the secure way for them to do it. And does it have everything to do with the mark of the beast? Yeah, and we'll talk in more detail about that in other videos. But I just wanted you to wrap your head around that and about the fact that it's even brought up and discussed by human beings on this, or these people aren't even human. That they want to do this to fellow other human beings. They should be locked up for even thinking about something like this. Oh, but it's going to stop the boogeyman in Afghanistan from coming over here and doing stuff to us. So what we'll do, we'll have a virus, and then we're going to just, we'll vax people. And it's called the fun vax to end fundamentalism because it's so extreme. Can't you tell people who are religious fanatics are extreme? Oh, and they're too passionate and they care too much? They might become dangerous. These people are the scum of the earth. Share this with people. Show them this. This has been around for a while. And now it just makes more perfect sense, right? Because this is the mandatory vax that you're seeing come in right now. You thought the flu vax was bad. Well, that was voluntary. And we saw how many people said this is a joke. No one's getting it because everybody's still getting the flu. Well, now look what they've done. They said, all right, you know what? Let's take the experiment to the next level. Quarantine them, take away their sports, take their entertainment away, stop producing new films and new TV shows because everyone's quarantined, bore them to death, and they get their old lives back. They'll willingly run to the local pharmacy with their shirts off to get it stuck in them. And they don't care about the long-term effects because they trust in Big Brother. Oh, it wouldn't have an effect on my brain or my thinking skills. No way they would do that to me. Please, please. Give me a break. These are the types of people that are in our world, thinking of these types of things to do to us. Yet nobody wants to think about it. You know why? It's hard for them to think about it. They don't want to take the pacifier out of their mouth. They want to be patted on the rear end and love, love, love. 111. Those are the people who are killing off the human race. Those weak-minded, spineless people who think because they can't critically think and they don't want to believe that everything we're taught in their lives is lies. That they're, my brain can't wrap around these conspiracy nuts. Let me make fun of them and call them crazy. These people couldn't be dumber. There's turds floating downstream right now that came out of a goose's rear end that have more intellectual thought than these people who think we're nuts. They openly are telling us this stuff and showing it to us. And they have been for a long time. So be aware of the dangers of what's to come with a vax. And it's worse than you could ever imagine. It really is. Don't put it in your body. Don't take it. Make it mandatory. Yeah, we'll see what you do. Because there's a lot of us out there who are awake now. And they're making mistakes along the way. They're slipping up. They're getting caught. Because people are waking up. They are. Unfortunately, not everyone is. There's a lot of people out there who aren't standing for this BS. And I'm one of them. I thank you guys for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.